It's now time for the Billy C. Show, part of the BillyCBoxing.com network.
And we're coming to you live from the Billy C Studios in Lake George, New York. I'm Bill Calogero, and it's time for the Billy C Show. Good morning, good day, good evening, whenever you're watching, whenever you're listening. I hope you're doing okay. Today's show, our Anthony Joshua, Francis Ngannou post-fight show, is being brought to us by my book. Tom Molyneux, From Bondage to Baddest Man on the Planet, is available right now where all good books are sold. You can get yourself a copy right now while you're watching or listening to this very show. Just go to Amazon.com. The fight just ended. Second round knockout victory for Anthony Joshua. I was a little nervous at first, to be honest with you. But Anthony Joshua did what a lot of people thought that he should do, and beat Ngannou easily, and he did easily, knocked him out. So hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. 10 hours this boxing event went on. Just about 10 hours. I started watching at 10 o'clock in the morning. So it's getting close to 10. If you're watching live, check us out. Come on into the chat room on the YouTube stream. I know we're streaming in a couple different places, but we want to hear your thoughts. Anthony Joshua improves to 28-3 with 25 wins coming by knockout. Francis Ngannou, in the sport of boxing, is now 0-2. And I don't know if he's going to move on in boxing or not. Not much to say. I mean, in the first round, a crushing right hand put Ngannou down. He got up. He didn't seem hurt to me. But then the second round started. He was down, and then he got up, and then he was knocked out. And, Anthony Joshua had a different look on his face today, boys and girls. In my opinion, he looked like he was on a mission, and mission accomplished. Anthony Joshua now is in line for the winner. According to Tyson Fury, the winner of the Fury-Usyk fight. Or whatever else he wants to do. It seems like, I got to be honest. I've always been an Anthony Joshua fan, and I was a little nervous for this fight because I didn't know which Anthony Joshua would show up, right? But I got to be honest. He looked very good, very focused. I was a little nervous with that one, with his hand. His right hand was down a little bit, and Ngannou was trying to time him. Obviously, it didn't catch up to him. So great performance by Anthony Joshua. I personally thought the fight would go the distance. I thought that Anthony Joshua would play it safe and box him. The other thing that surprised me a little bit was I know that they were close in size, but the movement of Ngannou coming into Joshua, it looked like Joshua wasn't able to even establish a jab of any kind. So that was a little confusing to me, anyway. But if you're watching the stream live, come on in. Let me know what you think. I'll mention your comments on air. We got Juan just popped in. He says, so Joshua won. Yeah, pretty easily if you didn't watch the fight. Just to get you caught up while you guys are coming on board here. In a boring fight, the other heavyweight fight, Joseph Parker, he won a majority decision over Zhilei Zhang. in a snooze fest. The way the judges saw that fight, one judge had it even 113, 113. One had it 114, 112. One had it 115, 111 for the majority win for Joseph Parker. He's now 35-3. Zili Zhang drops to 28-2 with a draw. The way I scored it was 114, 113 in that fight. The two knockdowns, the truth of the matter was that those punches didn't seem that hard. I was shocked that Joseph Parker went down. I would have thought that Deontay Wilder punched harder, but the way I had it was round 2 I gave to Parker, rounds 4, 5, and 6 I gave to Parker, rounds 9, 10, 11, and 12 all went to Parker. I had round 1 going to Zong. Round 3, which was a 10-8 round, went to Zong. I gave him round 7, and round 8 was a 10-8 round. So that's how I saw it. Anyway, but that was that fight, and there was another interesting fight. I'll tell you the fight that was interesting in my opinion. Anyway, Israel Madriov. He looks like a beast, man. I can't wait to see him again. He's now 10-0. He beat Magomed Kurbanov, and Kurbanov didn't look like he got started at all in this fight. The fight that I was a little confused over was the Nick Ball-Ray Vargas fight. They called 2 knockdowns, and the commentators were acting like, they were guaranteed knockdowns. They didn't look like knockdowns, especially the first one. I mean, in the very opening round, I believe, or it couldn't have been more than the second round, we had the referee, a Paisan, warned Nick Ball because he was like kind of throwing Ray Vargas around and said he was going to take a point away. That was in the first or second round. I counted 5 times that he did the same thing, including one of them that was the knockdown. At the end of the day, it was a split decision draw, and they're looking for a rematch. Some of the other fights on the card, those 2 fights were interesting. To open up the card at 10 o'clock in the morning in the heavyweight division, Andre Novinsky improved to 10-0 with 8 knockouts. Actually 9 knockouts. He stopped Juan Torres at 2 minutes and 43 seconds of the third round. And the kid from the local kid, Zayed Alamuf, improved to 5-0 with a knockout. He is trained by Buddy McGirt. So there was some other fights as well. But big card, 9 fights on the card. But obviously, the 2 big fights, one was a snooze fest with Joseph Parker coming out on top, and the other was Anthony Joshua totally destroying Francis Ngannou, which kind of surprised me. Juan's in the chat room right now. He says, so Joshua won. Yeah, he won pretty convincingly. So I'm looking for your comments. If you're watching the show right now, come on in the chat room. Give me your thoughts. Otherwise, forever hold your peace, So we got, I may have a surprise guest coming on here in a little bit. And we'll see if he's able to. But in any event, what do you think Joshua does now? Where does he go now? What's your thoughts? Is he going to wait for the winner of Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk? Does he take another fight? What about Joseph Parker? What's he in line for? There's some young heavyweights out there. To one of them get a shot. I mean, Joseph Parker now is the interim WBO heavyweight champion. I guess the sanctioning bodies are all waiting to see what happens with the Tyson Fury Usyk fight to see who's going to get stripped, because you know that they all agreed for the unification. But once that's over, once that fight's over, there's going to be mandatories, and you're going to see the belt, all the belts get split up. Now, I do know that the Tyson Fury Usyk deal is a 2-fight deal. So, they're going to have to obviously fight twice. Now, whether Anthony Joshua fights Tyson Fury first before the rematch with Usyk, depending upon who wins, either way, they both can, kick off the rematch clause. So you may see Tyson Fury fight Anthony Joshua after the Usyk fight, but who knows? The heavyweight division right now is rolling along, and Anthony Joshua seems to have. I came and started the show right away. Um, you know, I didn't see any comments afterwards. We got a comment. Both fighters showed a tremendous chin. Um, I didn't think that to be honest with you, I didn't think Ngannou landed any punches on Anthony Joshua. Um, I mean, he threw a few, but I didn't see anything land. And as far as Ngannou goes, this guy's never been down. This was the first time he was ever down in his career. In anything, MMA and anything, he's never been down, and he wasn't only dropped 3 times in this fight. He was knocked out cold. When I left to come on, when I left the fight, and I came to do this show, he was still out laying on the canvas. So there's a first for everything, and obviously he did what he had to do. Papa says, so glad that Joshua cleaned up all of this gimmick crossover crap. Hopefully this ends it all once and for all. I don't know, man. It brought some new fans. In Ngannou's defense, think about who this cat fought. He fights arguably the two best, or at least two of the best heavyweights that we have, and lost a close one to Tyson Fury. I don't know. I'm not so sure Tyson Fury can beat Anthony Joshua. I've said that all along. I thought that Deontay Wilder had a better chance at beating Anthony Joshua because of his pop. But I never thought that Tyson Fury could. One of the guys that was doing interviews, Ariel Helwani, I think is how you pronounce his name. He's an MMA guy. Listen, when we do boxing broadcasts, and I think Papa's going to agree with me here, when we do boxing broadcasts, I don't want an MMA guy. I mean, this is a guy saying, he must have said it 10 times that he thought Ngannou beat Tyson Fury. I'm not so sure that happened. Errol H says the respect of boxing has just been restored after that embarrassment left by Fury. Listen, Fury didn't take that fight seriously, and you could tell that Joshua did. I mean, he goes back to his corner, and Todd Grisham, who I'm not crazy about his commentating, but he says, "Oh, the only one that looks nervous in that corner is Anthony Joshua." I don't think Anthony Joshua looked nervous at all. I think Anthony Joshua was focused. That's the way I look at it. Hey, I agree. I'm glad that put a nail in the crossover. Now, the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight, which we'll talk about as time goes on. There's another one where you can maybe get the YouTubers out of the mix. Juan says, I don't know if Joshua is like a Class B boxer like Lennox Lewis. He should fight the winner of Tyson versus Paul. I don't know about that one. Come on, that's being a little harsh. I think he's a Class A boxer. And Lennox Lewis, at the end of the day, he changed the complexion of the heavyweight division. Listen, we got a surprise guest for us right now. Joining us right now is the infamous. Now, if you've ever watched this show, I know we got a lot of new viewers and stuff, but we also got a lot of guys that have been around a long time. And joining us right now is the infamous Jeremy C. Let me get his. Do I have you? Are you
What's
on?
up, Billy? What's up?
There he is. He's a boxing guy from way back.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I go
I
way
don't,
back. It's in
yeah.
my blood.
What'd you
Boxing's in
think of
my blood.
what'd you think of the fight? I mean, was that pretty
You know,
lights out or what?
Bill. I'm just glad I didn't pay for the fight because
I
uh,
I did.
what a, I mean, it's a gamble when you have two big heavyweights like that, right? It could go the whole distance, or it could be over in seconds. Yeah, it definitely did not go the way I thought it was going to go. But good for Joshua. He earned that one, and I'm going to have to agree with you. I don't know that Fury beats him. I think Joshua is gonna beat Fury if they meet.
If the same Joshua shows up focused and ready to fight Fury, I think it's going to be a tough night for Fury. But Tyson Fury knows how to. He's got defense. He'll lean on him. He'll frustrate him.
Yeah.
Ngannou, listen, Ngannou had a puncher's chance. And it looked like he was going to land some shots. I mean, the size difference wasn't all that much.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, there was no size. I mean, Joshua technically had a couple of inches of height on him, but Ngannou looked big in there. I got to be honest. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that the fight ended the way it did so quickly. I thought it would go. I mean, a lot of the guys like David Hay and stuff, they were saying, "Oh, late round stoppage," and I'm saying, "Oh, geez, I don't know if it's going to be a late round stoppage." I thought that AJ would fight very cautiously,
Yeah.
But
you did say that on the show this week as well.
Yeah. Stop reminding me. I also gave everybody a 3-fight parlay. And,
how'd we do on that? How much money did we win?
Well, I won 2 out of 3.
Okay, all right.
The Lorena fight, I lost, but I didn't know his poor mom was going to pass away. But that happened 24 hours before the fight. So, but he, honestly, the guy had him out on his feet, and he couldn't raise his hand and hit him one more time. I mean, that's how close it was at the end.
Yeah. Let me just explain to you, Bill, how great my boxing knowledge and analysis is. Because
wait, don't expose yourself.
No, listen, you're gonna love this. I mean, I've been working with Billy C for how long? You got to think
21 years.
I know what I'm talking about, right? So I'm in a room full of people, and I go, somebody's going, "Oh, AJ's gonna knock him out." I go, "Look, there's only 2 ways this fight ends, guys. Take it to the bank. There's only 2 ways. Number 1, Ngannou knocks him out in the first or second round. Or number 2, AJ by decision. It's going to go to the distance. There's no way AJ knocks this guy out." And then I'm like, come on, man. Come on.
We got DeBongo. I'm sorry. Says this version of AJ smokes Fury early. I agree. Listen, I don't know what switch they were able to flip with Anthony Joshua, but I've been an Anthony Joshua fan since day one. You know that. But I've never seen him with the look on his face that he had for this fight. I never did.
Bill, he was in the zone so hard that even after he knocked him out, he didn't even have an expression on his face. Like,
no, I know.
Like, you don't celebrate, you don't smile, nothing. Like, he's just like, it's like he was programmed to go in there and destroy,
I tell you, he was.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah.
And like I said, I thought that Ngannou would do better. I really did. I mean, look, like some of the people in the chat room are saying, it's good that Joshua did this, because for all of the boxing fans, this is what we wanted,
Yeah.
But
Hey,
in any,
you know
my
what?
man,
I'm sorry.
my man Jeff says Tyson at 58 is going to get hurt. So much respect, but
Yeah.
too old and inactive. People have been texting me and emailing me on this one, Jeremy.
Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is I'm not convinced about Jake Paul. I mean,
Listen, here's the way I look at this fight. First of all, I've seen some recent clips, and I don't know if somebody sped them up or whatever of Tyson doing some training, and the guy looks insane still, right? He looks insane. So, like, if the Tyson that I'm seeing in these training videos shows up, Jake Paul is going to be laid out. It's going to be like 1980 something all over again, right? Um, here's my thought on Jake Paul. Like, people like to talk a lot of smack about Jake Paul. I have respect for Jake Paul because he's in the gym every day training. This is not a guy who just is a celebrity who wants to be a boxer. Like, he's a boxer. He's a beginner, but he's a boxer. The guy's out there literally training every single day. And you know what? He got way too much attention for his fights because he's famous. But he started off just like every other boxer, fighting a bunch of no name who gives a shit people, right? So, it is what it is. Yeah, he fought a basketball player. Who cares? It's not his fault that he's, famous, right? But you got to give the kid respect that he's out there training. He's doing what he's doing. He's doing what all of the diehard boxing fans dream of every day, and that is bringing in young eyes to the sport of boxing. Is he not?
well, I'll tell you what he is bringing, a lot of money. And that's
There you
why
go.
Mike Tyson at close to 60 years
Yeah.
old is doing. Jeff says great straight punch from Joshua. I tell you, the first knockdown in the first round was a crushing right. And then the second knockdown in the second round. I mean, the first knockdown in the second round was another crushing right. And then obviously the second knockdown in the second round was not only a crushing right. I don't even know. Did he get up yet? I mean,
yeah, he was down.
I
He was
came
down
right
for a
in here.
while. Yeah.
And he, Ngannou, give him credit to Ngannou. He didn't look like he was 100% back after the first round.
Yeah.
And, he got himself up and his eyes looked a little glassy. But there was no doubt. Nobody could say it was stopped too soon or anything.
No. He was out cold. He was out for at least a minute, Bill. He was laying flat. Listen, this should be the end of crossover fights from MMA into boxing until some boxing guys start showing up in the MMA ring, or cage or whatever, and taking it to the other side. Like, this is it, right? Like, you're not going to go in and beat these guys. It's just impossible. Let's just stop this nonsense at this point. I hope Francis.
Yeah,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but what I was going to say is, I don't know if we should say that, okay? But you can't go from MMA and go for the two top or arguably
right.
the
Start
top
at the
three
beginning.
fighters.
Yeah.
I mean, if Ngannou, and that's the to me, that's the unfortunate thing for Ngannou right now. He's a big money maker. People want to see him fight. He's a knockout puncher. Why not put him in with a guy that it's more evenly matched? There's several young heavyweights up and coming, like this guy who fought. Yeah, we almost lost you there for a second. Like this guy who fought earlier in the night. And actually it kicked off the show. Justice Hunai, and yes, we lost my man Jeremy. Justice Hunai. He put Ngannou in with him. DeBongo's asking me, what time is it where you are? I'm in the UK, and this was supposed to start at 10 p.m. local time, and it didn't end up starting until 1 a.m. Do you think it delayed purpose on a U.S. market? Absolutely not. I'm in New York, and this fight was supposed to. Hey, keep it down over there, Jeremy.
Sorry, I lost connection there for a second.
This fight was supposed to start at 5 p.m. here, so that makes sense. Same thing with you guys. We're 5 hours difference now, but it ended up starting late. This whole event here on the East Coast started at 10 a.m. I mean, I'm starving. I want to go eat something. But I just think that the fights went longer, and they had to do the same discussion, same interviews over and over and over. I mean, I saw them for hours. I didn't need to see them anymore.
Yeah.
They should have just kept bringing them in, one after the other. I was ringside for a fight last weekend. It was on ESPN Plus, and one after the other. The card started at 5. They had the TV slot at 10 p.m. There was one fight after the other. Everyone was on time. It was great.
Listen, I'm not a person who likes to stay up late, so I like a nice early pay-per-view. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. But Bill, I don't want to.
I love these. I agree with you. I love these UK fights. I'm in my feety pajamas by 7:00.
Yeah, but this one, like, I don't want to walk out of IHOP after breakfast and watch a pay-per-view. You know what I mean? It's a little too early.
My man Lewis, Lewis, he says, awesome fight. Lewis, you told me all this time Ngannou never was down, not once. I told you that this guy AJ was going to beat him. I didn't think he was going to destroy him. Did he ever get up? I just want to know, did Ngannou wake up yet?
Lewis, listen, don't listen to Bill. He's wrong so many times too. Don't take
EMT
it personal.
Rick,
Lewis, don't let Bill beat you up.
Oh, wait till he comes over again. Let me tell you, I'll tell you something about Lewis. All right. I bring him with me. He's ringside for this fight. Next thing you know, because there was a Japanese fighter. Next thing I know, I don't know what kind of line of bullshit he was feeding these Japanese reporters. But next thing I know, he's posing with the moon pictures and
there
stuff.
You go, Lewis. We all know who the real star is.
EMT Rick says, "Hey, what's up, Jeremy?"
What's up, EMT? Look, the Jeremy fans, they're coming out of the woodwork, Bill. You knew this would happen. This is why you keep me off the show. You never let me on anymore.
That's why I keep you. I'll unplug you right now. No, Rick's been happening. He's been a long time viewer.
Yeah.
But, anyway, I hope it's not all kidding aside. I hope it's not the end for Ngannou. I hope that he said in some interviews that he was going to go back to MMA anyway. But Lewis says he'll give you an autograph, Jeremy.
There you go. Thank you, Lewis.
But I hope he doesn't. I hope he does come back to boxing. I thought it was good. I just think that he needs to climb the ladder a little bit.
Yeah.
And the general consensus, at least some of the people here in the chat room, Anthony Joshua, this version of Anthony Joshua looks pretty badass to me.
Yeah.
I don't see. I haven't seen anybody else. Well, I guess Usyk, since he beat him twice. But I wonder if they could have a third fight. I don't know.
Well, doesn't Joshua get the winner of Usyk Fury? So,
yeah,
if he holds on to it, then that'll be the third fight, right?
He does get the winner, but that's coming from Tyson Fury, who's already chalked up the win for himself.
Yeah, true.
So
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if this contract is played for AJ and Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
And I also heard AJ say that he's still looking to fight. What's his name? I forgot him.
Deontay Wilder.
My girl Chevelle Halbach just popped up into the chat room. Chevy, I got your voicemail. I will call you in the morning. Congrats on her championship. She
congrats
broke a record. I guess I can say her age because that was part of it. 52 years old, won a world championship last weekend. So props to Chevy for doing that.
I bet she could beat Jake Paul.
She could beat most, But in any event, I hope that AJ continues whatever he's doing now. Because and I know he went back to his trainer, so maybe that made a difference mentally. He definitely looked focused, man.
Yeah, listen, Ngannou just made more money than he ever would have made in an entire career of MMA. That's a fact. Dana White screwed up so bad letting that guy walk out. He left UFC. He moved on to PFL. He got paid what he thinks he's worth. They're letting him have these boxing fights. And, I'm sure, if the guy decided he wanted to play pro football, they'd probably let him. It's all going to bring eyes to them in the end, right? Now PFL just merged with was it Bellator, right? So they're working all that out. He's going to have a belt again sooner than later, and he'll dominate over there and maybe help make them a true UFC competitor. So you got to be proud of the guy no matter what. I mean, he fought two of the best, and oh well, he didn't win. Well, you still did what most people could never accomplish.
He made a ton of money because the UFC offered to keep him, and he turned it down. As a matter of fact, he took a much smaller pay to be able to get out after he won that fight. It was like 500 or 600,000, and he's made way more than that since then. I know he made a ton of money against Tyson Fury, and he made more against AJ. And I'm sure that he's going to get another shot. I mean, if he wants to in boxing, like I said, there's some younger fighters that he should fight, get a little more experience. I mean, like we were saying, he went to arguably two of the top 3 or 4 fighters in the sport. So
I'm sure one of the Paul brothers is trying to fight him right now.
Yeah.
Probably the one that only does exhibitions.
I don't know about that. But again, if you're just tuning in, Anthony Joshua made quick work of Francis Ngannou, had him down in the first round, crushing right hand, put Ngannou down. And then in the second round, another right hand put him down. He did get up, and then another one knocked him out. So,
audience, basically, to sum it up, it took me longer to eat my breakfast at IHOP this morning. Pancakes, a little hash browns, some bacon. Took me longer to eat that than it did for AJ to win this fight.
But I'm surprised.
Bill, you're welcome. I helped you.
I didn't think it was going to go like this. I thought that AJ would be very cautious. And I thought that he would take it out, but he was on a mission, man. He was on a mission,
Well, and that's why I listened to your show earlier. I listened to your advice. I'm in the other room. I'm telling people, no. I know. I have inside information. This is what's going to happen. I know. And then I'm embarrassed in front of everyone. God.
Hey,
no.
I analyzed it and I gave my prediction, But
hey, you picked the right guy. You said AJ was going to win. So.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's all that matters, Bill.
Yeah, a win's a win. Lewis is saying Ngannou should have thrown a head kick. They told him no kicking, kicking. And the other heavyweight fight. Hey, did anybody notice? And my girl Chevy's in the chat room right now, and we were at a fight together in Denmark, and Michael Buffer was there, and I met him. He was, we drove in the same vehicle and everything, and I tell you what, I don't know about you, but he's got to be close to 80. He's closer to 80 than he is 70. I thought he maybe forgot. Let's get ready to rumble, because he like stuttered a little bit. He's like, "It's right, ready for the fight. That's right. Let's get ready to run." I thought maybe he was Biden in there, but
Bill, it's not like me to cause any controversy on your show. That's not my style.
No,
but let's just say, Buffer, it's time to retire, man. You know what?
Hey, listen.
Time. Go sit on the beach, count your money, sip some margaritas, listen to Billy C boxing. That's all.
They brought him in for the 2 main events.
Yeah, well, they should have left him home.
They had Thomas Triver in there, and he was doing a great job. But real quick,
should have left him home. Sorry, Bill. No controversy.
I'm going to mute you in a minute. real quick, Joseph Parker in Fort Zili Zong. In a snooze fest. The one thing, he won the fight, and I thought he did too. I had this. My score was 114-113. The way the judges scored it, one judge had it even, 113 each. One had it 114-112. One had it 115-111. He went down twice in that fight. But I'll tell you something. His hand speed and his accuracy. I don't know why he didn't let his hands go. I don't even think this fight would have been close. If he let his hands go. It's going to be interesting to see who he fights next because he won the interim championship. So realistically, he's the next guy that's supposed to fight the winner of Tyson Fury Usyk. As far as the WBO is concerned, that's how they're going to start stripping these belts.
Yeah.
But aside from that, hey, listen, it was a long day of boxing, and it ended. It ended in a way that nobody can argue. That's for sure. But in any event, listen, there's not much more I can say. It was a 2-round fight. It ended pretty quick. Jeremy, I'm glad you stopped by, and maybe you can
Anytime.
stop by again. Well, next time you get a chance, just let me know, and I'll see if we could get you on.
Sounds good.
I got
Sounds
some
good.
pull. I got some pull around here.
Yeah. Have your people call my people.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
All right, my man. Hey, I'm glad you watched it anyway.
Yeah, look, I was honestly, I did not think it was going to go that way. So, I always like, I'm waiting for that moment where I get to call, the boxing people and go, ha ha, the MMA guy beat your guy. But, today wasn't my day. What are you going to do?
Yeah. Well, was that where you were ready to come on?
No,
I see what it's about.
Look, I like to bust balls, Bill. You know that. What are you going to do?
I got a joke for you. You know what it is?
Yeah.
While you're here on this show, somebody's dumping sugar in your gas tank. Of your
Probably.
Yeah. All right, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
Be good.
All right. This is my man, the infamous Jeremy C, joining us. Any last comments? Any final thoughts from you guys in the chat room? If not, I'll remind you, make sure you subscribe to our channel, our YouTube channel. Befriend us, join our groups in Facebook. We're also on Rumble. You can search Talking Boxing there. And of course, subscribe to our podcast. We'll be back on Thursday with all the latest boxing news and predictions for next week's fights and all that stuff. But one last time, Anthony Joshua takes care of business, knocks out Francis Ngannou. First time Ngannou has been knocked out, first time he's ever been knocked down. Juan wants to say, yes, Tyson versus Paul. You know what? We got plenty of time to talk about that fight. I'm waiting to hear if the Tyson-Paul fight is going to be a real fight or if it's going to be an exhibition. Because if it's an exhibition, it's going to be very similar to Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. What do I think? I think it's a money maker. I'm not crazy about Jake Paul, but I love Mike Tyson. I always have. I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't be. I'll be pulling for Mike Tyson 100%, 100%. But anyway, listen. Please make sure you tune in on Thursdays. And if you don't catch us live, you can always catch the replay on our YouTube channel, Rumble, everything I just said, or BillyCBoxing.com. Thanks for joining us. And until next time, ciao, baby.